A very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Yuki Portia. Let's start off with a look at your headlines.
2020 Ordinary Level Examination commences. Protest opposite Prime Minister's official residence requesting the Grade 5 scholarship cut-off mark be reduced. State employees, including Grama Seva officers, protest close to the presidential secretariat. World condemns Myanmar crackdown as 18 peaceful protesters killed.
Starting off with your top story for this afternoon, the GCE Ordinary Level Examination got underway today across 4,513 examination centres across the island. 622,351 private candidates and school students will be sitting for the examination this year.
Commissioner General of Examinations Sanat B. Pujita, speaking to Newsfirst, said the O-level examination will take place until the 10th of March. The Commissioner General of Examinations said in order to combat any spread of COVID-19, 2 special examination centres are in operation across each district in the country. Accordingly, 40 such centres will be in operation. Newsfirst visited several examination centres earlier this morning and observed if the examination is taking place in accordance to the health guidelines.
The GCE Ordinary Level Examinations got underway today. It is reported the health and education authorities have taken the necessary measures for the exams to be held. In addition, Sri Lanka Police is prepared to assist the authorities with respect to conducting the examination and ensuring the health guidelines are followed. During the period of examinations, Sri Lanka Police receives complaints with regard to sound pollution. We request the general public to ensure the volume of TVs and radios as well as other sound equipment to be reduced, considering it could inconvenience the students preparing for the exam.
Moving on, a protest was organised opposite the Prime Minister's official residence in Colombo this morning.
The protest opposite the Prime Minister's official residence in Colombo was organised by a group of parents whose children sat for the Grade 5 scholarship examination last year. They requested for the cut-off mark for school admission based on the results of the Grade 5 scholarship examination to be reduced. The attempts made by the protesting parents to meet with the Prime Minister were futile. As a mother, I know how our children have been discouraged. They studied from the phone. They faced a lot of obstacles. I plead from the President and Prime Minister. Please give us a solution. The group left the site after discussions with the Prime Minister's Additional Secretary, Nishanta Veerasinghe.
Now, for the 44th day, farmers in Valsapugala are engaged in a Satyagraha campaign demanding the proposed Wild Elephant Management Reserve in Hambantota be included in the Government Gazette. In January this year, farmers in Valsapugala were engaged in a Satyagraha campaign demanding the proposed Wild Elephant Management Reserve in Hambantota be included in the Government Gazette. Last week, the Cabinet of Ministers granted their consent for the combined resolution to publish the Government Gazette for the proposed Wild Elephant Management Reserve in Hambantota. However, the farmers continue to engage in the Satyagraha campaign until the Gazette is published by the government printer. Today, monks from the temples in the area supported the campaign launched by the farmers of Valsapugala. Yesterday, Minister Namal Rajapaksa commented on the campaign launched by the farmers of Valsapugala while attending an event in Suryavava.
According to the approval of the cabinet, this will be gazetted very soon. We fought for it from the past. I was the one who suggested it for the first time in 2013 when I was the chairman of the District Development Committee. The first recommendation was sent with my signature on it. Even though it was not done by the previous government, our government will take measures to protect the zone through the gazette. Also, when gazetting the region, we will implement it in a way where the traditional farmers, wildlife, people and the environment is protected. Even during this week, I have scheduled discussions with Minister C.B. Ratnayaka and the subject minister to discuss the gazette.
මේ සතියේත් සීබී රත්නායක අමාත්‍යතුමා එක්කත් විෂය භාර අමාත්‍යවරයා එක්ක සාකච්ඡාවක් දාලා තිනවා. ඒක ඇසෙට් කිරීම පිළිබඳව ඉදිරි ක්‍රියාමාර්ග කඩිනමින් ක්‍රියාත්මක කරා.
Moving on, the Development Officers Service Union warned of moving towards a trade union action if the government does not intervene to resolve their issues.
පුරා වසර ගණනාවක් මේ උපාධිධාරීන්ගේ වෘත්තීය ගැටලු වලට විසඳුම් ලබා දෙන්න කියන කාරණාව ගැන වරින් වර කරුණු ඉදිරිපත් කළා තියෙනවා.
For many years, we have put forward the need to solve the professional issue of the graduates. We have gone head-on with the government on multiple occasions for a reasonable demand to proper employment for the graduates in the public service. However, the authorities adopted a very lethargic approach to this issue. We would like to tell them that we will no longer be deceived by your actions. We are not prepared to remain silent as the government idles on the matter. We will not allow the rights of the graduates to be disregarded. This is a warning to the government. We will step onto the streets on the 4th of March, and if our issues are not resolved, we will not back down from taking trade union action. This is the message we have for the government.
අපි එතනින් යහට දැඩි වෘත්තීය ක්‍රියාමාර්ග වලට අවතීර්ණ වෙනවා කියන ඒ පණිවිඩය අපි තාම වගකීමෙන් ආණ්ඩුවට මේ වෙලාවේ ලබා දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
Multiple protests and demonstrations are taking place at the designated agitation site close to the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo. We're now joined by Newsfirst's Sanitha Senanaika, who is at the site for more on what's going on.
Thank you, Pasha. As you can see right now, I'm in the agitation site in Colombo Golface. As you can see, there are two groups who are protesting here today. The first group is the group that you see behind me. They are the veterans of the armed forces, and they're demanding a suitable pension scheme be paid for them for the years that they have been on service. And the other group that you see are a group of people who have sat for the Gramanildari exams, and they're demanding that proper appointments be made for the Gramanildari exams they sat for. So far, these protests seem to be very peaceful, and we're ready to give you more updated information about the situation here in Golface. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Sanitha Senanaika.
Thank you, Sanitha. Moving on, the revision applications filed by ex-director of the CID Shania Besekara and Sub-Inspector Sugath Rohana will be taken up for consideration by the Court of Appeal on the 17th of March. The revision applications filed by the ex-director of the CID Shania Besekara and Sub-Inspector Sugath Rohana were called up in the presence of Court of Appeal judges Bandula Karnaratna and R. Guru Singha today. Now, earlier, the Gampaha High Court rejected the application filed for bail by ex-director of the CID Shania Besekara and Sub-Inspector Sugath Rohana, who are charged with fabricating false evidence against several suspects, including former DIG Vas Gunawardana. Now, they filed the revision application with the Court of Appeal, challenging the High Court order. They requested the Court of Appeal to revise the order of the Gampaha High Court made on the 8th of December and to release them on bail. Moving on, Colombo Additional Magistrate Bandar Nelumvenia ordered for the investigations on the incident involving law student Migara Gunaratna be removed from the Paliguda police and be handed over to a separate investigations unit. At present, investigations are taking place over one complaint on the assault on law student Migara Gunaratna at the Paliguda police and two complaints with regard to Migara Gunaratna obstructing the duties of police officers. Based on the presentations made by counsel in the court, Colombo Additional Magistrate Bandara Nelumvenia ordered the Inspector General of Police to transfer the investigations to a separate investigations unit. President's Counsel Salia Pires appeared for Migara Gunaratna and President's Counsel Tiranthavaralia appeared for Sri Lanka Police when the complaints were called up in open court today. The Colombo Additional Magistrate ordered for the progress of the investigations be reported to court on the 15th of March. Meanwhile, employees attached to multiple local government bodies in the southern province protested opposite the Galle District Secretariat today, demanding their services be made permanent. The protesting local government workers claim they are yet to be given permanent employment status despite being in service for more than 5 years. Local government workers from Mathura, Ambalangoda and Gaul, accompanied by workers from other local government bodies, took part in the protest. They obstructed the main entrance to the Gaul district secretariat, which resulted in a heavy traffic congestion along one lane of the Colombo-Gaul main road.
For years now, provincial councils have been keeping multitudes of substitute and non-permanent employees without making them permanent. There are some who have been working for 8 to 10 years on a daily wage. Now they have brought about the 100,000 jobs program and released non-permanent employees in some organizations and replaced them with others under the 100,000 jobs program.
Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathirana, MP Sampath Athukorala and Chandima Veerakudi were present at the Gaul District Secretariat for separate talks and discussions between them and the protesting local government workers for a solution to the issue failed. The local government workers thereafter once again commenced their protest. Another phase of series of meetings titled Sorry Kauda Dinum Conference was held in Nathandia yesterday.
On the 27th of February, we marked 6 years since the central bank treasury bond scam took place. The money of the people was taken away by Arjuna Mahendran, who is in Singapore. Yet, not a single letter was sent to Arjuna Mahendran in Singapore. Moreover, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who stood firm and said thieves will be nabbed, is releasing thieves and whitewashing them. In addition, the people who looted the public funds are being released from their cases via the ad hoc commissions they appointed. They cannot appear in courts in order to be released. If they appear in courts, they will have to go to jail. Gotabaya Rajapaksa was released from cases based on his presidential immunity and not from the court. In addition, Ranil Wickremesinghe has also been released from the Commission report on the 2019 April attacks for the assistance provided. Ranil Wickremesinghe was also released from the Bond Commission report. Back then, Ranil protected the Rajapaksas and today the Rajapaksas protect Ranil. Gotabaya Rajapaksa is assisting theft and not taking measures to stop it or catch the thieves.
අද රාජපක්ෂලා පෙරදුනත් රනිල්ව රකින්නවා හොරකම් වලට උදව් කරන එක මිස ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා හොරු අල්ලන්නෙත් නැහැ හොරකම නවත්තන්නෙත් නැහැ.
Save Rambakan Noya.
Another leg of the Gammadda Pradeshya Mandapaya organized by Newsfirst, centering the issues faced by the rural folks, will take place in Rambakanoya in Ampara. The Gammadda Pradeshya Mandapaya will take place tomorrow at 3 p.m. on the bunch of the Rambakanoya with participation of officials from the Forest Conservation Department, Wildlife Department, Mahawali Authority and the Agrarian Department. The Gammadda Pradeshya Mandapaya will focus on the issues area residents face, including the environmental destruction that took place in Rambakanoya recently. Moving on, residents in the surrounding areas of Lunava Lagoon are complaining that a pit has been dug unsafely at the end of the stadium.
Residents say that the pit has been dug at the site a few weeks ago.
ඔය සති දෙක තුනකට කලින් අපි බලන් ඉද්දිමයි බෑකෝ එකක් ගෙනල්ලා හැරුවා මොකටද කරනවද කියලා අපි දැනන් හිටියේ නෑ. ඊට පස්සේ කීප දෙනෙක්ම දැකලා තිබුණා එතන ඊටාම දුර්ගන්ධයක් එක්ක කුණු නිකන් මඩ වගේ අමුතු කෙමිකල් එකක් කොළ පාටට මඩ තට්ටුවක් තියෙනවා.
අඩි 20ක විතර වගේ ගැඹුරට වලක් කපලා chemical ගෙනත් දාලා තියෙනවා ඒ වලට.
Children can be seen playing in the playground and a walking track has been constructed next to the grounds as well.
Sri Lanka police introduced a special program to prevent environmental destruction. Police spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana elaborated at a media briefing this morning.
විශේෂයෙන්ම පරිසර විනාශය වන විනාශය අද ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ
Environmental destruction and deforestation have become a serious issue in Sri Lanka. Therefore, in order to prevent such incidents from taking place, Sri Lanka Police is prepared to launch a special program. We urge the general public to contact the hotline 1997 with information with respect to environmental destruction and deforestation.
දුරකථන අංකය වෙත ලබා දීමට කටයුතු කරන මෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා.
The Director General of Health Services confirmed 7 deaths caused by COVID-19 yesterday.
Accordingly, the total number of deaths due to COVID-19 infection in Sri Lanka rose to 471. Chief of Defence Staff and Commander of the Army, General Shavendra Silva, who is also the head of the National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 outbreaks, said a majority of these fatalities were reported from the Colombo district. The National Operations Centre for Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak announced that several localities in Kartankudi MOH area of Batiklo district were released from isolation at 5 a.m. today. These areas are Gafur Road, Mohinar Lane, Singatona Road, Telecom Road, First Cross Street.
Taking a look at some news overseas, the UN Human Rights Office said that today marks the deadliest day of the anti-coup rallies as the police have fired on protesters in Myanmar, killing at least 18. World leaders have strongly condemned the bloodiest crackdown yet by Myanmar's security forces against peaceful anti-coup demonstrators. Chief Antonio Guterres yesterday led the chorus of international condemnation against the actions of the military. European ministers have already agreed on sanctions against Myanmar's military over the coup and have decided to withhold some development aid. And with that, it's a wrap of lunchtime news here on TV1. For the News First team, I'm Yuki Pasha. Take care and good day.